Now let's have a look at some of the different ways that we can preview our images inside MiniBridge. Now the first thing that I'm going to show you is MiniBridge's preview pod. You may recall seeing this command or this option from the previous exercise. What I'm going to do is I'm going to head all the way up to the top right corner of the MiniBridge interface down to this panel view drop-down menu, and I'm going to choose preview pod. Now, the preview pod opens up way down in the bottom left corner, and there's a whole lot of nothing inside there. But give this a try. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start clicking on some of my different photos that I have here inside MiniBridge, and I get this little preview pane showing up here. And what's interesting here is if I increase the size of the preview window, I actually increase the size of the graphic or the photo that's previewed inside there, which is kind of cool. So you can certainly use the preview pod if you want. I'm going to go and close out of mine. I'm not going to use that guy because I want to show you some other ways that you can go about previewing your images inside MiniBridge. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to head all the way down to the bottom right corner now, down to this preview menu here. Go ahead and open up that preview menu. And we have lots of options here. We have slideshow, we have review mode, we have full screen, and we have preview. Let's check this out here. So I'm going to start off with slideshow. So go ahead and choose slideshow. And what happens here is MiniBridge switches us over or flips us into this full screen slideshow. And as you can see here, the slideshow is self-running. I'm not hitting any keys on my keyboard or anything like this. It's just sort of cycling through the slides on its own, which is fantastic. So what I'll do here, though, is I want to get out of this slideshow. So I'm just going to hit escape on my keyboard. And that brings me back into the regular old MiniBridge. And what I'll do here is I'll go back to the beginning here, back to my apples. And that's the slideshow, which is kind of cool. How about the review mode? Well, check this out. I'm going to go ahead and choose review mode. I think you're going to like this. That switches me into this kind of a view. And I can actually use the arrow keys on my keyboard to cycle through my photos, just like I would almost in iTunes, if you use iTunes there. This photo here is done by the Photoholic. Anyway, so there you go. You can use your arrow keys if you wish, or you can use the arrow keys found in the bottom left corner of your screen. Kind of neat, kind of cool. Now, let me show you some other things that we can do here. While I'm inside this sort of this preview mode, I can use this icon here. Go ahead and click on it. It looks like a little word bubble, doesn't it? Go ahead and click on that guy, and we actually get this little preview window showing up inside here, which is quite bizarre. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the next photo, and I can move this little preview window around just by dragging around inside the preview window, or just by clicking inside my photo, which is kind of cool. So I can drag around and I can get a closer look at my photo. Maybe I want to see the top left corner of this barn window in here, this kind of thing, right? Now you can get out of this here just by clicking on the X in the corner, and that'll toast that guy for you. So just kind of a neat thing that you can do there. This other icon here allows us to create collections, and we'll talk about collections in just a little while. I'm going to hit the X, though, in the bottom right corner to get me back out to regular old bridge there, or regular old MiniBridge, I should say. Now, we have a few other options here. Didn't mean to go and do that. Make sure you click on your actual menu there, not on the icon. This time, let's go full screen preview. And that essentially is the same as our slideshow, except it's not self-running. So we actually have to use our arrow keys on our keyboard to move around or cycle through our images. So you can certainly use that guy if you like. Okay, what else do we have? Well, I'll head back down to my menu here. And the last guy that we have is preview. So I'll choose this guy, and that gives me sort of a larger preview inside MiniBridge. So I haven't left Photoshop, I haven't left MiniBridge, and now I'm just using my arrow keys here to cycle through my photos. This photo here of the bridge is courtesy of Tom Curtis. So that's the idea here, just kind of flipping through your images using your arrow keys inside MiniBridge. So of course, if you want to go and preview your images, you can use whichever method, whichever mode you want. It's definitely cool stuff.